Hello friends, I'm very happy to see you here. Today I want to tell you a story that is beautiful, mysterious, and a little unsettling at the same time. It's a story about nights when an entire country lights thousands of lanterns to welcome those who once lived, but are no longer among us. Imagine a warm summer evening in Japan. The streets are glowing with red paper lanterns. You can smell grilled noodles and sweet syrup from small food stalls. Traditional taiko drums echo through the air. People laugh, dance, and enjoy festival food. But behind all this joy, there is an ancient idea that has existed in Japan for more than 1,000 years. The Japanese believe that during these days, the spirits of the dead return home. This festival is called Obon. Many people compare it to the Day of the Dead, but in reality, it is something deeper. For the Japanese, Obon is a time when the boundary between the world of the living and the world of spirits becomes thinner. It is believed that the souls of ancestors return to visit the homes where they once lived. The story of this festival goes back more than 1,000 years. It comes from an old Buddhist legend. According to the story, one of Buddha's disciples, named Mokuren, had a special ability. He could see into the world of spirits. One day, he decided to look for the spirit of his deceased mother, but what he saw shocked him. Her soul was suffering in the world of hungry ghosts. Mokuren wanted to help her, so he asked Buddha what he should do. Buddha told him to prepare food offerings and give them to Buddhist monks. When Mokuren did this, his mother's spirit was finally freed from suffering. It is said that he was so happy that he began to dance. That dance eventually became the traditional Bon Odori dance that people perform during the Obon festival today. From that moment on, people began holding rituals every year to honor their ancestors. Over time, this tradition spread throughout Japan. Today, Obon is one of the most important cultural events in the country. But the most fascinating part begins in the evening. As the sun begins to set, families light small fires or lanterns outside their homes. These lights are called Mukaebi, which means welcoming fires. They are meant to guide the spirits of ancestors back home. Imagine the scene: a warm summer night, soft lantern light glowing in quiet streets, and small welcoming flames outside many homes. It feels almost like a beacon for wandering souls. Inside the houses, families prepare offerings: rice, fruit, tea, sweets. Sometimes they even place small animal figures made from vegetables on the altar. A cucumber represents a horse, so the spirits can travel quickly to the world of the living. An eggplant represents a cow, so they return slowly to the spirit world. During Obon, millions of Japanese people travel back to their hometowns. Trains become crowded, highways fill with cars. Everyone wants to spend these days with their families. But the festival is not quiet or sad. In fact, it is full of life. Across Japan, huge summer festivals take place. In town squares, a special platform called Yagura is built. People gather around it and begin dancing the traditional Bon Odori dance. These dance movements have been passed down for centuries. Sometimes they are slow and graceful, sometimes joyful and energetic. People dance wearing traditional summer kimono called Yukata. Music plays late into the night. Children catch goldfish in small festival pools. They buy cotton candy and caramel apples. At first, it seems like a normal summer celebration, but if you look more closely, you realize something unusual. During these days, the Japanese believe that the crowd does not include only the living. Somewhere nearby, invisible guests may also be present. guests from another world. And maybe that is why the atmosphere of Obon feels both joyful and mysterious. But the most mystical moment of the festival happens later, when thousands of lights begin their final journey across the water. And that is where the story becomes even more fascinating. On the final evening of Obon, one of the most beautiful and mysterious rituals in Japan takes place. It is called Toro Nagashi. The phrase literally means floating lanterns. Across the country, people gather near rivers, lakes, and coastlines. At first, everything feels quiet and peaceful. Twilight slowly settles over the water. The surface of the river becomes dark and still, and then small lanterns begin to appear. Each lantern is made of delicate paper and a light wooden frame. Inside, there is a small candle. Sometimes people write the names of their loved ones on the lantern. Sometimes they write short messages, words of gratitude, love, or farewell. One by one, people gently place the lanterns on the water, and slowly, an incredible sight appears. First, there are only a few glowing lights, then dozens, then hundreds, sometimes thousands. The river becomes a moving sea of golden light. Each lantern represents a soul, a person who once lived, laughed, loved, and dreamed. It is believed that these lights help guide the spirits back to the world of ancestors. Watching this moment creates a strange feeling. On one hand, it is incredibly beautiful. Warm candlelight reflecting on the water, people standing silently along the riverbanks. But at the same time, there is something slightly eerie about it, because it almost feels like thousands of souls are truly drifting into the night. Some lanterns carry drawings, flowers, birds, mountains. For many families, it is a way to say something to their loved ones that they could not say before. In some cities, this ritual becomes a massive event. For example, in Kyoto, there is a famous ceremony called Gozan no Okuribi. During this event, giant bonfires are lit on the mountains surrounding the city. These fires form enormous symbols visible from far away. The most famous one is the giant character Da, which means great. When night falls, this symbol bursts into flames, illuminating the mountains. Below in the city, floating lanterns continue drifting down the river. This moment symbolizes the farewell to the visiting spirits. But Japanese folklore also adds another mysterious element to the story. It is believed that during Obon, not only ancestors return. Sometimes other spirits may appear. These spirits are called Yūrei. Yūrei are restless ghosts, souls who died suddenly or with strong unresolved emotions. In traditional stories, they appear wearing white burial clothes, with long dark hair and pale faces. Old legends say that during Obon, the boundary between worlds becomes so thin that some spirits may accidentally wander among the living. That is why certain traditions must be followed carefully. Lanterns shouldn't burn too long, spirits shouldn't be called by name, and the final farewell ritual must always be performed, because the spirits must return home. Toro Nagashi is not just a beautiful ceremony, it is also a way to close the door between worlds. When the final lantern disappears into the darkness, it means the spirits have safely returned to where they belong. But there is still something else that makes this festival feel mysterious. Some people say that during Obon, they truly feel the presence of their ancestors, and that brings us to the final part of the story. When the last lantern disappears into the distance, the Obon festival slowly comes to an end. The music fades, lanterns are extinguished, the streets return to their normal rhythm. But many Japanese people say that during these days they feel something special. Some describe it as a quiet sense of peace. Others say it feels as if their ancestors visited them for a moment. Sometimes it shows itself in small, simple ways. A gentle breeze passing through a room, the sudden scent of incense, an unexpected memory of someone who once meant everything. Of course, some people might say these are just coincidences. But for the Japanese, the meaning of Obon is not about proving the existence of spirits. The true meaning is memory. Memory of those who lived before us. Memory of family. Memory of the people who helped shape our lives. And that is why Obon remains one of the most heartfelt festivals in Japan. It connects the past and the present, the living, and those who came before them. Every small lantern lit during these summer nights becomes a symbol of that connection, a connection between generations, a connection between worlds. When you watch thousands of lanterns drifting across the water, it is hard not to wonder how many stories are hidden inside each tiny light. How many lives? How many memories? How much love? And maybe that is why this festival feels both beautiful and slightly haunting at the same time. Because it reminds us that the world may be deeper and more mysterious than we think, and who knows? Maybe on one of those summer nights when thousands of lanterns drift quietly along the river, one of them carries the memory of someone who is still watching over us. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next story.